What's happening, independent homeschoolers? So, do you ever have this question thrown at you? Why do you homeschool? Well, I want to give you the one answer that shuts down that question. Wouldn't you like that one answer that just shuts down why do you homeschool? Or if it doesn't shut it down, it leads to the shutdown. So it goes like this. What is the answer? Why do you homeschool? I think there's one reason and only one reason you should give. And if you can't give this answer, you need to work on it until you do, or you need to put your kids in school somewhere. So the one answer to why do you homeschool is because I can do a better job. That's it. You can do a better job. It may sound arrogant, it may sound cocky, but really the competition is public school. Are you really that insecure? You might be, but we'll get you to a new place. But just think about it. I can do a better job in what areas? Well, I can do a better job morally. I'll say morally, spiritually, academically, relationally, socially, and mentally, just to name a few. So why is that? What is it that's going on that says I can do a better job? Well, what we found and we concluded was, let's just take morally. Don't you think the values that you hold to and subscribe to in your home and can hold the kids accountable to think through and understand are going to be better than the running around with the hellions they do in public and private schools? I went to them. I knew who those people were. I hung out with some of them. They weren't good for me. I hung out with some good people. They were better for me. But it was a mixed bag. Now, that's just like an ethical level, moral. Do they do the right things? Do they have honor? Stuff like that. Spiritually is a little different, because if you have beliefs such as the Bible, you certainly will get ostracized and abused in most school settings. But if you want to teach the Bible at home, or whatever your religious belief is, it could be Judaism or Islam or whatever that is, you have an open opportunity at home, and it will not happen in the school for sure. What else? Academically. Oh my goodness. And bear in mind, I'm saying academically, we've got to compare apples to apples. I'm not saying schooling, public school, private school, doesn't produce some really good students. But you'd have to be a good scientist and put that student through a homeschool and see how they turn out to make the comparison. And I'm going to tell you, just on balance, with the dropout rate, the quality of people, and the nature of how teachers have to teach, and the diminishing of homework and accountability and just graduating people, just all the messes that are connected to it. Your odds of really academically preparing someone go up greatly if you school them, because you can catch when they make mistakes and when they're struggling with an area. You can get the right help, and it's a progressive game plan where they're getting that one-on-one or one-on-some attention from you as the chief learning officer of the home. Socially. So socially, what happens? Well, socially, you get to guide who they hang out with, their extracurricular activities, clubs, sports, all kinds of things homeschoolers do, plus neighbors, friends, plus members of the family. And that kind of socialization allows a strategic, maybe protective is the word, but maybe just well-guided opportunity to make sure they're developing the social skills they need in life, not the social skills they need on the street. That's not really what we're aiming for. I mean, if people live in a world where they're on the street, that's one thing, but that street life is not the life of people who pursue academics and learning. That's not what's going on there. And for most of us, that's not what we want for our kids. If that's the thing for you, you're on the wrong channel, I'm pretty sure. Mentally. So mentally is a little different than academically, because mentally what we're trying to teach them is a worldview that makes sense, not the crazy manipulative stuff we see constantly in public education. We're dealing with bullies, fear of guns, violence, and the schools themselves, we don't mean it to be this way, but they're kind of set up like prisons. Not to keep the prisoners in, but to keep the thugs out from messing with the prisoners. And that environment, if you think that through mentally, does not prepare you. It makes you a very dependent person. Even in the education, you're spoon-fed what you need to learn and what you need to learn here. Maybe not true in an AP class or something, but most of the time it's just getting them by. The amount of homework, the amount of real effort that goes into really learning is just not there. Not like it was and not like it can be in the home. So mentally, it turns out to be a mess, especially because your child is not taking on the role of being their own educator. They're caught mentally in a dependency system, so they'll spend the rest of their life not looking for the answers, but looking for somebody to teach them the answers. That's never a path to independence. So all I'm saying is, bottom line, why do you homeschool? It's because I can do better. That's it. I can do a better job. And if you can't say that, you need to get yourself to where you can. We have a lot of materials available to help you do that. But you need to be able to do a better job. And honestly, the competition is not that bad. Even if you tie them, congratulations, because of all the other advantages. But that's the answer I'd give. And if they want to know why, you just keep dealing with why you can do a better job. If they say something as lame as, well, they're professional teachers, don't be rude, but let's just be honest. Lots and lots of teachers, I know they're teachers of the year, those are exceptions, but people who academically are academically, financially, mentally motivated don't tend to go into teaching. I don't mean that rudely. They go into business and other things. It's just the nature of the game. They don't pay teachers enough. I've said this for 40 years. They need to get rid of teacher tenure. That would help real accountability. There needs some minimal standards to get in. They have added that since we were fighting those battles back in Alabama 40 years ago. So it is just incumbent on you to get confident and clear that realizing that most teachers don't have 20 years of experience. They have 1 year of experience 20 times over. And you can develop a home and teach and create an environment where your kids can learn. And it'll change everything, especially when you can learn to shut down that conversation. Because look, homeschooling works, it's here to stay, and you can raise independent learners, and it'll be awesome. Hope this helps. Hey, by the way, subscribe and pass this along. It would help us. Thanks.